Kaylee and Inherit. So I've been living with our very own grumpy gardener, and today we're doing some garden fresh cocktails. So to start off with, we're going to talk a little bit about growing some ingredients, but first of all, I just wanted to mention, Grumpy, you're not wearing your Grumpy shirt.
Yes, no, I'm wearing my own personal shirt because if you remember in the last Facebook Live we did, I told everybody how I've had one shirt that says Grumpy Gardener for the last 10 years. They make me wear it every single time, and I'm sick of that shirt. And so they say they're working on it, you know. I mean, how long do you got to work on it to get a shirt, you know? I don't know, but let's get on with the spot because it's not all about me.
It's, okay, anyhow.
It really is, but let's go on with, let's go on with informing all the people out there in Facebooklandia about how they can use these herbs.
Yeah, so let's talk about these plants.
Well, these aren't really, this is a vegetable plant
and an herb. Perfect.
Okay.
So let's start with the jalapeno. So talk to me. So I'm a beginner gardener. We're actually starting a new column for beginner gardeners called Beginner will be in our September issue. Is this a good plant for me?
This is a pepper plant, and especially like a jalapeno is one of the, probably the easiest veggie plants that you can possibly grow in the summertime.
So it will be hard for me to kill?
Yes, it loves heat, it loves sun.
Okay.
So if you have a sunny spot, it doesn't matter where that happens to be in the garden or it happens to be in a container that you can put in a sunny spot.
Okay.
It's great. All you have to do is give it sun and keep it watered. You can see this little plant even has flowers and little baby jalapenos started. But it will produce an amazing amount of peppers from this plant. And like I say, it's so easy to grow.
Awesome.
It's a cinch.
Cool. So I could definitely get one of those. And
Oh,
not kill
yes.
it. Okay. Awesome.
Well, I don't know.
Well,
but, you know,
I could
you
probably
probably
not kill
could.
it.
Yeah, if you water it with boiling water, that's not a good idea.
Well, I don't know why I would do that.
One, do not boil the water.
Do not boil your plant water, people.
Just use nice, cool water from the tap,
Excellent.
and this plant will be, this will work out
So what about this guy here?
Okay, this one is a new kind of rosemary. It's from our Southern Living plant collection. It's called Chef's Choice. But I have one of these in my garden, and I really like it. And you'll notice there's a couple differences in the way it looks. For one thing, it's nice and low and rounded and compact. And you might think that's because, well, they just cut it back and sheared it to look that way. But this is actually the way it grows. It also has more leaves that are shorter and denser. But the really cool thing about it, if you're interested in using it in cooking like I am, is that the leaves have a much higher oil content than regular rosemary, so it's much more flavorful to use in cooking or in flavoring drinks.
So tell me about this. Is it hard to grow rosemary?
Rosemary is really easy to grow if you remember just a couple of things. Number one, it likes lots of sun.
Okay.
And number two, it likes well-drained soil. It doesn't want the soil to be wet all the time.
Okay.
But you don't have to fertilize it. You don't have to water it a lot. Once it's established, you'll probably never have to water this thing.
So can I grow it in a container, or does it need to be in the ground?
You can grow it in either place as long as it gets sun and well-drained soil.
Oh,
that's it. You don't have to spray it. Nothing. No insects, no pests.
And it will always look like this. I can always just go clip off a spray.
Yeah, I mean, it'll get a little bit bigger, but that's okay because through the year, you're going to be clipping off the ends and using it in cooking. So that'll keep it to a size that you want.
So what's it called?
Chef's Choice.
Chef's Choice from the Southern Living Plant Collection.
Yeah, so you can find this in garden centers throughout the world.
Maybe throughout the lower 48. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm a beginner gardener. I've got a bumper crop of jalapenos and a ton of rosemary, and I don't know what to do with it. I like to cook, right? So maybe I'll make salsa and ceviche with jalapenos. Maybe I use the rosemary for chicken, etc. But it's Friday, so we're gonna make cocktails instead.
Oh, nuts! Do we have to?
I'm sorry, we have to. So
I don't know if I like cocktails.
So what I'm going to tell you is that it's super easy to do, right? So you go to like fancy cocktail bars and stuff, and you see like, oh, we have rosemary gin or lavender vodka or whatever, and it sounds so fancy. You can do this at home, and it's super easy. So just take a few sprigs, like if you wanted to do a rosemary gin, take a few sprigs of rosemary. If you have this Chef's Choice rosemary, that's great. If you don't, what you can do, if you want to, that can kind of speed the process along, is just take regular rosemary and your muddler and
a muddler?
Muddler. muddler, and then you'll want to just muddle it to get some of the oils out.
That looks
right?
so mean.
And that
I can feel it streaming
okay,
as you do that.
You can. Okay. Anyway, so then you'll want to put your rosemary into your bottle of gin, and with the gin, with an infusion like this, the rule is the same as it is for cooking. If you wouldn't cooking with wine, so like if you wouldn't drink the wine, don't cook with it.
Can you use any kind of gin?
Yeah, any kind of gin. Use your favorite. This is actually really cheap gin that I bought because we have a budget. But you could use whatever gin you want to. So the next I did this jalapeno tequila. So what we did here is to take a white tequila, which is my favorite thing to have on hand in the summer because it's so versatile. You can use it with so many different things. It's great with watermelon.
Can you drink it?
Well, yes, you can drink it.
Oh,
it's great
good.
in cocktails. It's great with soda. It's just a really versatile thing. So take one of your jalapenos that you've grown.
I'm so glad I could eat with you today.
You want to slice it. Right? Okay. And then you want to add it to your bottle of tequila. But here's the thing, is that a lot of recipes that you see will tell you to let this infuse for a day or even longer. But you want to taste it because, for instance, this jalapeno was very spicy and I only had to infuse this tequila for 3 hours. Whereas if it weren't as spicy, you'd want to leave it for longer. Now tell me, if I like spicy, is there a certain time I should harvest my jalapenos?
Well, most people would pick them when they're still green, and that's the color that you see them when you go to the grocery store. If you leave the pepper on the plant longer, the jalapeno will actually turn red, and at that point it becomes a lot hotter. So you can decide how many. Oh, and if you're just tuning in, we're talking about flavoring alcoholic beverages using jalapenos and rosemary.
And how to grow them. So if you missed that part, you'll definitely want to rewind to the beginning.
Yeah, if you missed that part, you're out of luck.
Figure out.
They're both easy to grow. You can't kill them. Not even you.
Which is great. So, Grumpy, what I'm doing here is I've got this rosemary gin, and I thought we would just do a very simple cocktail.
Oh, wow, what is that you're using?
So these are just little strips of cucumber, and they always, every time I see them, it's like, so easy to make. Just take your white peeler, do this. So easy to make, but they look really impressive, and people are always like, ooh, you're so cool.
That looks very sophisticated.
Yeah, right, indeed. We are very sophisticated here. So I just added some of our rosemary gin in a highball glass.
What's that you're putting in there now?
Just a little tonic.
Oh.
So we've got this cucumber, which is both a nice garnish and will lend a little bit of flavor and freshness. And so I will give that to you for your approval. Wait,
Okay, should I sip this or just knock it back?
Well, I mean, I guess that's up to you.
Okay, because you people out there on Facebook, I'm betting that you guys would rather me knock this back. So I'm not going to do that. That would be wrong of me.
So the next drink I'm going to make, we're going to use our, what do you think?
That's quite
good?
refreshing.
Is it refreshing? That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
This is delightful.
We're going to make a drink with our spicy tequila. Spicy tequila is really versatile. You can do a lot of different stuff with it. I happen to be very fond of hibiscus tea. So today what I'm doing is kind of a variation on a margarita. We're going to take some lime slices. We're going to take our mean old muddler, and we're going to muddle. We're going to muddle our limes, right?
Call my mean old muddler.
Get some good juice there. And then we're going to add. So what I did here to get a lot of that good hibiscus flavor into this drink is I've taken 8 ounces of hot water to 5 hibiscus tea bags, and so you get this really beautiful concentrated hibiscus flavor. So we're going to add that. We're going to do a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup.
Simple syrup.
Which is just equal parts sugar and water. We're going to do a 1/2 ounce of this, and I love this. This is St. Petersburg Distillery's orange liqueur. They were one of our food award winners, I believe, for the vodka.
Comes all the way from Russia?
From Florida.
Oh, okay, that's St. Petersburg.
Florida. Doesn't that make sense? Florida oranges, right. Florida orange liqueur.
Yeah, that makes sense. We are on a budget. Can't get the imported stuff. Got to go domestic.
So we did that, and so then we're going to, the important part, I guess, is the tequila. So we're going to do 1.5 ounces. Well, let's do 2 ounces.
Yeah, let's do 2. 2.5, 3. No, 2.
Right, you can, of course, adjust this to your taste. Always, I think, taste. if you want it a little sweeter, a little spicier, whatever, just make sure that you taste whatever it is you're making. So we have all these things together.
Oh, I love it when you do that. Wait, you are a pro. Have you done this before?
Once or twice, I think.
Yeah.
Once or twice.
I had to clean up my carpet after I did that in my home.
10,000 times. Well, anyway, so I've taken this glass and we rinsed it with a little lime juice and dipped it in this sugar. This is Mr. Giggle Pants. This is from
Mr. Giggle Pants. That's what I feel like after I drink it.
This is from Beautiful Briny Sea. It's a company out of Atlanta. They make all these gorgeous flavored salts and sugars. And so we're just going to take that. You can serve this on the rocks if you'd like. I don't necessarily think it needs it. And see, there's your beautiful pink summer cocktail. So cheers, Grumpy.
Oh, so does it taste good?
Well, let's see.
Knock at that.
I think it's all right. I think it'll do. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers. And let us know what you think we should call these things, because this cocktail doesn't have a name for sure. And I guess that's just a
How about
Rosemary
Bob?
Gin. You want to call this cocktail Bob?
Yeah,
you want to call
this
this
is
beautiful?
Bodacious Bob.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us today.
We do have one question.
A question? Okay, great.
Michelle wants to know if she can substitute vodka for, I'm assuming, the tequila or the gin.
Absolutely. Vodka holds an infusion wonderfully. And I would say to you to get creative with your infusions. You can use fresh things like this during the summer when we have them, but also I love, say, using dried lavender with vodka and lemon, or say maybe do some rose petals for a rose scented vodka. So yeah, absolutely. Vodka holds an infusion great. So just pick out whatever it is and just start experimenting.
You're just a walking, talking encyclopedia of knowledge.
Well, it's just I like drinks. Drinks are good. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us.
Cheers.
Cheers.